Hi, Bill Pattison with Art of Illusion. Here I brought in a couple paintings that we've done in some of our seminars, workshops. Just a little bit of color just to be able to look at the difference when we're looking at values into the color or into the value chart. Now this is very low key, almost like down in the valley painting, you can tell. And here the lightest light is up in the sky with maybe the morning light coming up, and it's around a 1.5, which is the brightest, and if you can tell the rest of it's bathed in shading. But none of it's really number 10, which is the darkest dark again. And some of the darks are maybe in number 8. And a lot of more of these 4, 5s, and 6s in here, again sprinkled with a few of the values. If you study a lot of great master paintings, and especially Rembrandt, which is the ultimate painter of light, of contrast, we create a lot of the mood into our painting. Besides color, we create a lot of the moods and values, lights and darks. It's like the old black and white movies again. That's the one that so many have been colorized, and have run so many of those, but many of the horror story ones where you can think of that, obviously, because of the darks, not the only the shadow knows. But in here, because it's not really moody as far as scary, but it's a lower key where you just kind of wonder what's going on into the valleys, which we see so many times, and this could be the Smokies or anywhere, that we tend to see a lot of that into mountains or hills. You don't have to even travel to mountains on those. But again, the sky really looks light against her background of her tree. One behind it's a little bit sharper contrast with the background sky and behind the building. So in here we have our lightest lights is our windowsill, which is not pure white, it's about number 2, and our sky, with you can't probably tell quite as much, there's some little off clouds. Skies maybe again 2, with none of the flowers really white. So the lightest one in here is probably that 1.5. Some darks, but nothing number 10, but some 8s and 9s in the window bed or a flower bed. Some grays, a lot of the half tones, and here into the middle tone. So it's a little striker because we have like more of that contrast, lights and darks, when it jettisons out through there. So in your own paintings, when you're looking at paintings, when you're looking at galleries, when you're looking at books, just to study some of that, just see what really certain paintings that you like, certain artists that you like, to be it they use contrast or color, even when we're using color, the lights and darks of the color. So I really like that strong between there. But again, look how different that was in that lower key, softer areas, and we really see the lightest lights up here. But because we're dealing with a lot of distance back here, none of these are 10. Remember, off into the distance, everything looks lighter as it goes farther back. So at number 10, it's hard to look maybe really dark off into the distance on that. I said earlier, I may do a value chart in color that we can put up here, so we can start looking at, maybe do one in warm, maybe some pinks and mauves. But the kicker is, when you get into color, sometimes your darkest colors, especially when you get in your high keys, like cadmium reds, cadmium yellow is very high key, so your darkest dark in cadmium yellow is always over into here, so you can't get the many values out of a light key color.